Hey, I'm Ray Parker. I played Darth Maul in Phantom Menace and Solo, a Star Wars story, and G.I. Joe, Snake Eyes, and you're listening to Disney Universe Podcast.
We would be honored if you would join us.
To infinity and beyond!
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing. That was all started by a mouse.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 169 of the Disney Universe Podcast. This is your ultimate podcast for everything for Disney adults, Lorcana players, and this is our reoccurring Lorcana episode with Rebekah Quests, and we are also joined by Lorcana Stan. We're going to have a proper introductions to you guys shortly, but of course, I am one of your co-hosts, Joey, joined by my Wizard Pooh himself, Alex. What's going on, brother?
Doing a little Merlin bounce, baby. I'm hyped. I'm ready for Arcasia's Island set 7. Since last we spoke here with the universe, you and I have been getting a lot more gaming in. So I'm hyped. Yeah, it's eat, breathe, sleep, Lorcana right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to get right into it. Actually, we got to do our mousekeeping first. So, of course, we could not do this show on the Waltz Apartment Productions feed. So without, and our YouTube, DUTV, without the help and support of our very special crew. Let's shout them out.
Yeah, they're the ones who give us the lore in our heart. And that's the DU crew. Big shout out to Superfan Jen, Florida Jen, Alfredo, Sean. I got John. We got Tyler with the bags. We got Wedge Antilles, Jacob, your friendly postal carrier. Of course, Salah, and I think that's it. I hope I didn't forget anybody. I forgot everything but my notes today.
Do we got Alfredo?
I got Alfredo in there.
Awesome.
Close personal friend. Nice.
So we appreciate you guys. And if you want to check out our DU crew, you just got to go to www.ducrew.com. No, patreon.com/DU crew. But yeah, before we get to our guests, last show, we mentioned a giveaway that we're doing, and we would announce it today. So we're going to do it live or recorded live out here. And I got a little randomizer wheel, and we did get 4 entries. So each one gets 4. But Alex, you want to remind our listeners and viewers of YouTube what we are giving away?
I did not want to go get it. Sorry, I'm being lazy, y'all. But it is. And that's only because it's packaged, ready to go out to our winner here. We, as you all know, on the last episode, we're celebrating Black History Month and reviewing Captain America: Brave New World. And we got the amazing Captain America: Brave New World popcorn bucket. You saw it. It flies, it sips, it eats, and it's coming home to one of you. So yeah, check out Captain America: Brave New World. And there it is. I knew we could get it up there. Awesome post, by the way.
Thank you. So threw this up on our YouTube, but like I said, we got 4 entries. So the better odds, but shout out to 3 of our entries. They are DU crew members. So we got Tyler, Wedge, and Alfredo, and then Courtney shared it as a post. So you know that there's no collusion. I'm going to do it here. Let me actually. You guys look great, but I'm just going to remove you for a second. So, going to hit the spin button. Hey, Courtney, you won the bucket.
Looks like I won't have to deliver that one. As much as I'd love to, Courtney, if you're going to be at Disneyland when I am. But
Yeah.
might save on the shipping, all I'm saying.
I'll be spending gas money sending that to you shortly. So
Hey.
congratulations. But you see that people do win here at the DU. So, and we're actually having another giveaway that will be mentioned later on at the end of this show. So, but let's just get right into our Lorcana, our Glimmers of the Galaxy.
Dive into the inkwell, baby.
Yeah, let's do this. So, as before, like I said, we always have these shows with Rebekah. We love that she always is eager to come on, and we love that, you know, even more that she's local too. So if we want to go head down to her neck of the woods, we could go play. We could meet in the middle, and we got some plans. So, welcome back, Rebekah. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels like it's been a while, so there's a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as mentioned before, we got another guest. And before I introduce you, sir, I just got to have. I can't introduce you without my little mini story. So, and it's kind of I can't think of the word right now. So, but it's in theme, I guess. But I saw this gentleman last year at Adventureland Day at Disneyland, and it's a funny, silly dress up day. People dress up Indiana Jones, Safari, Tiki, Jungle Cruise, anything adventurer, old timey pilots. It's a very fun event. They do scavenger hunts. Tiki Tony runs this. He hands out treasure and stuff. So it's a lot of fun. And thank you again, Tiki Tony, Skipper Freddie, and the rest of the crew. This was the second year I actually helped out, and it was one of the treasure hander-outers this year. But anyways, but I saw this gentleman that looked like an awesome dream finder. And you guys, if you listen to the show for a while, you know me and Alex are big fans of Figment, Dream Finder, Tony Baxter, everything in between. And so, and you ever go to Disneyland and you're trying to meet up with somebody, but you never meet up with somebody, but on the same token, you run into somebody and you just follow them all day. Like you keep bumping into them. Oh, that's awesome. You guys got to watch YouTube to check this out. So, but so that was me with Lorcana Stan last year. And fast forward this year, Adventureland Day was just 2 days ago as of recording, the first Sunday, and I ran into him again. I'm like, all right, dude, I got to find you, got to talk to you, and invite you to the show. And you're so gracious to join us on such short notice. That's into my rant. Lorcana Stan, welcome to the Disney Universe. How you doing, sir?
Hey, I am very, very excited to be here. In all of my explorations and quests and adventures all around the world, I always love running into kindred spirits who enjoy nerding out over the same sort of stuff.
Hell yeah. So I'm so glad that you're able to join, especially on such short notice. And, since you're new to the show, would you kind of introduce your Lorcana story, or I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I could riff off of your intro with meeting you last year, about a year ago at the last Adventureland Day, but I'll come back to that in a second.
Yeah.
I am a huge Disney Parks fan. In my heart, mind, and soul, I live in 80s Epcot Center. That's why I put up that map behind me.
Beautiful map.
As soon as I could grow facial hair and realized it was red, I said, I'm going to wear a beard for the rest of my life just for Dreamfinder. Going on that ride, the original version of Journey into Imagination literally changed my life. And people today don't even know or appreciate that unless you've been on it or watched it on YouTube and heard all the backstory, whatever. Anyway, so I've gone to the parks panel. I've gone to D23 for every single D23. And every single time I would like to go to the parks panel, but am never willing to wait for it.
Yeah.
Until 2022. when they moved it to a larger room, and I thought as a party of one, I could sneak in on Sunday morning right at the last minute and get in because they were in a bigger room. And I thought and hoped, like I hope every D23, that they're going to announce some remake of Journey into Imagination. Some way to fix the awful, awful, awful Figment ride that currently exists.
That's like us here with Tomorrowland.
Also, too, in addition, I also want the Return of the People Mover here, yada, yada, yada. Okay. But I was sad that I did not get in. But shame on me for thinking that I could, really. So what am I going to do now? I've already walked the whole expo floor. I don't know. I'll walk back over to that booth with the pretty art who told me they wouldn't sell me anything on Saturday afternoon because they only allocated a certain number of those set of 6 beautiful cards that I didn't know or have any clue what they were. They said, come back Sunday morning and we'll sell you one. And I said, nah, I'm going to the parks panel.
Yeah.
So I get in line and I tell the sad story to the nice couple in front of me. And I was like the 30th person in line. I was totally going to get a promo Mickey card, that set of 6. Notice I said was.
Yeah.
And as I'm complaining about not getting in, the kind couple in front of me says, hey, you could just stream it off of YouTube right now. And I said, oh, but I don't get reception in here. I don't care what they're giving away or selling. And I got out of line and I went and laid on a couch in the hallway, thought I made the right decision, watched the whole parks panel on the edge of my seat, hoping there would be some Figment reveal or Return of the People Mover or something that I would care about, and there wasn't. And the next day on eBay, I realized I made a giant mistake. Probably the biggest collector's sin of my entire life, monetarily at least. And I swore on that day that I will pay attention to every release date of this stupid kids game that I don't know or care anything about. And I'll get in right at the beginning. I've never been at the front of the line. I've never had that foreknowledge of when things were getting, I never pay it. I would always arrive to trends and fads late, but not this time. This time I was going to get in, make the money I lost, and get out. And
so
here I am.
Out of spite.
Well, with the first, I live by one of the best collector shows in the country. That is kind of like a mini Comic-Con in an old Sam's Club. So picture that size of a warehouse. Yep, Frank and Sons. You're familiar with it. If you've heard of Frank and Sons.
Yeah.
I've been going to Frank and Sons since I was a teenager in its various different locations over the years. And I've enjoyed watching them grow. I've befriended some very kind Lorcana resellers there, and even ones that I had previously purchased pins from, for example, but never had a conversation with them. And now they're some of my best friends.
Nice.
They introduced me to playing in local shops. I tried to find the closest shop to Disneyland. I've been going there every Monday night. Shout out to Card Addiction. They're no longer the closest official shop to Disneyland. I haven't been to the closest one, Meeples. I do intend to get there soon. But
what's it called?
Meeples.
Meeples?
Like people, but with an M, sort of.
Like meat people? Meat people.
Yeah, I think that is the wordplay. I think that is.
I'm going to look out for both of those, Card Addiction and Meeples on the next.
Yep.
How close are we talking?
Well, Meeples is at the Garden Walk outdoor mall that's like a block away from Disneyland.
Yeah, don't get much closer than that. Only downtown Disney.
Card Addiction is a couple miles down the street, but not far at all. I've been going there. The first Monday night I went there, I said, I'm just going to watch, because I had never played a card game before. I'm old enough to have had an original starter deck for Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
But threw it away because I didn't know or care.
I'm with you on that one. I did that.
You feel
I
my
have
pain,
enough
bro.
stuff in my garage. I'm hoping it's in there. But.
But I never really had the attention span or the patience. And even though I thought the art was very pretty, I could never wrap my head around the play, especially playing with strangers. I never understood these weirdos that would go to shops and play with strangers. I never understood that phenomenon. But by the end of that, by round 2 of my first night at, and remember, this is like chapter 1. This is August of 2023. This is like right after release. By round 2, I was playing under the kind tutelage of people that took me under their wing. And by the end of the night, I had already fallen in love, not necessarily with the game, but with the community, and realized, oh my gosh, this is why these weirdos do this. And I haven't looked back. I started Instagram right at the beginning, that at first I wanted to be faceless, where I would take a picture of every card from chapter 1 in a relevant location at Disneyland and make people guess where I took it. That popped
Very tricky
off.
spots.
Oh, well, she's being
so
humble
fun.
right now. I haven't started gushing over Rebekah yet, but I will. If I actually finished that game, I naively thought I could do it in a couple trips. All 204 cards.
Yeah.
I finally got through all 204, but after like chapter 4 started. I was going to try to do it before chapter 2 came out, but whatever. Turns out content creation takes a lot of time and effort and energy. And a tip of the hat to all y'all content creators, especially the queen of content right over here, who I very much enjoyed watching her rise to fame, watching her authenticity and genuine love of play and curiosity and creation and creativity. Since day one, I've been Rebekah's biggest fan. And like she said in the last episode, thank you for that shout out, which is probably freshest on my mind because I listened to it today. But you guys did it like in October or whatever.
Yeah.
The fates brought us together in the early morning hours of the last D23. And you really get to know someone when you sit on a concrete floor with them for about 4 hours.
Oh, that's true. I've done a lot of those panels early in the morning. So.
But going back to you, Joey, I love interacting with the content creators, whether it's like the game developers, the artists, the other Instagrammers, YouTubers, podcasters. And I love doing it in all of the Disney universe, to borrow a phrase.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw my little Instagram as a place where they had one foot in the parks, scratching my itch to have just another Disney vlog, and 1 foot in this beautiful game and its community. And I very much enjoyed dancing in that realm. I wish that I had the energy to produce the 1,000 ideas I have every day. I feel good about getting one a week done, maybe. So my hat is off to Rebekah and all that she does in her kingdom. Queen Rebekah, all hail her content creation. But with you, Joey, you were very kind to me last year. I started following your stuff last year. We didn't really interact much, maybe except running into each other or on Instagram or at D23. And then when I saw you again in your lovely, lovely, lovely Trader Joey outfit on Sunday, even though my anxiety didn't want to commit to a spontaneous next day thing, my love of the community and my respect to the creators brought me here today. So
awesome, man.
Thank you. Thank you for your kindness and your friendship and all y'all's example.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And me and Alex, like, well, I do a lot of podcasts, and we knew early on when this game was getting started, we're going to have to do a Lorcana episode. I'm like, we're going to have to do as releases come. Then we started following Rebekah, and then she, her content, like you said, and then then I kind of I think either myself or Alex reached out. Then she's like, I'm in this part of California. I'm like, that's like in our backyard.
That's where
awesome.
we are.
Yeah. But no, and so that we're so glad that we can do this reoccurring Glimmers of the Galaxy now. So, but I'm going to jump to Rebekah real quick and to see what's new with you. Like Lorcana Stan said, you've been very busy with the content creating, the tournaments, the releases. So
yeah,
what's going on?
Yeah. So, gosh, so was the last time that we talked that far back?
October, yeah.
So it's been a long time. So that was after Seattle happened, though. So that was the last Disney Lorcana Challenge, which Lorcana Stan was at Seattle, and I got to say hello. And then in January, that was like the next big thing, or actually in December and January were the next two big things. And in December, they had over in Europe, they had the European Championship. And then in January was the North American Championship, which was hosted at the Disneyland Resort. And I was so grateful to be able to be a part again of the broadcast team doing the commentary for that. And I mean, all of the Disney Lorcana challenges that they did last year were amazing, but that event there at the Disneyland Hotel it blew my mind. It was such a beautiful venue. The whole event was they had Mickey there.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was it's like every time I would walk out and I would see Mickey Mouse there, I'm like, oh, this just makes me so happy to have Mickey there. And then of course, all the awesome Lorcana players there that are just performing at such high level of skilled play, and watching them compete for these spots to go to the World Championship, which is still yet to be announced. But it was a great weekend. And then I also hosted with a couple of other content creators a day at Disneyland before the Disney Lorcana event called Quest in the Park, where we, similar to the kind of that Adventureland day that you all participated in, that we wanted to host a day in the park for Disney Lorcana players to come, all the Illumineers, and be at Disneyland together and play some games. We did Pack Rush, and it was just such an amazing time. You were there for Pack Rush, right? Lorcana Stan, you were there for Pack Rush, and
I had the
did you make the picture?
I did not make the picture.
That's right. You missed the picture.
I've taken several days off work over the past year to go to these different Lorcana things. You know what I'm saying? And since I was taking that Friday off in the hopes I'd get into the last chance qualifier, I did not take that Thursday off. But I did join y'all after work, and I got to play Pack Rush versus Luke Wonderland.
Oh, Wonderland, yeah.
And who won
a world
first
qualifier
place at Seattle. And he played my friend Sean in the finals. Sean is a local player, plays at a shop. Shout out to DXN Provisions out in Arcadia. I run into him there all the time. Both of those guys are super, super sweet. Yes. Helpful, encouraging, coaching type guys who are both so good. They don't need to talk to peons like us, but they're so kind. And so when I beat Luke in Pack Rush there, I felt like, oh, that's a sign. I'm gonna get in tomorrow.
You need a badge or something.
I think that took all my luck for the weekend. Just that one little pack rush run thing.
Yeah.
It was super fun. Super nice guy.
Yeah, we ended up having, I think, not all at one. Well, in the picture, I think there was 70 people about in the picture that we took in front of the castle. So we had probably, and then there were other people that were there at different parts of the day that didn't make it to the picture. So close to 80 people that came out for the day. So for our first time putting on,
that's amazing for a first time event. Seriously,
a first time, yeah. So we're definitely wanting to do that again. So that's that. It was really, so all in all, that whole weekend was just amazing, and I'm so excited for the next event that they do, Worlds. But since then, we've all just kind of been like sitting around waiting for the next set, for more announcements of what's coming, and we have got more announcements that I know we'll talk about. And then, of course, the new set is coming out this week, on Friday. We're recording on a Tuesday, so just a few days away. And so it feels like things are starting to pick up again, but we've kind of been in a little bit of a lull since the championships. So I'm excited for what's ahead.
Well, nice. Well, speaking of the next set, Alex, if you kind of want to lead us into the discussion on this, because I've been so busy, I haven't been really I'm not paying attention, but you've been sharing like the Dreamborn site, which is amazing, by the way. Thank you for telling me about that. But
yeah, no, just my excitement is very high. I think I might yield to Stan or Rebekah when it comes to the lore of Arcasia's Island. But as Rebekah had mentioned, we have been without a new set or any sort of major happenings in the world of Lorcana for a couple weeks, and so we're stoked when those teasers, spoilers, whatever we want to call them. I know y'all go back. I do remember I did not want to be a spoiler person, but man, give me those spoilers. Give me that visual aid of the amazing art and let my mind start dreaming of what sort of cool, spicy, fun, cute, themed deck lists I can come out with. It's awesome. And we have some lists pulled up, so we're going to show off some of the cards that we are most excited for, coolest art, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know if Rebekah or Stan, any of y'all want to get into the brief between Azurite Sea and Arcasia's Island, where we're at. I don't know if we're talking about the lore. There's videos.
The lore, I love. Yeah, the lore is great. I mean, that's one of the things I love about the game, right? Is that it's not just a game. It's Disney, so of course there has to be a story because Disney's all about storytelling. And so in Azurite Sea, all the Illumineers were sailing across the Azurite Sea in the realm of Lorcana, and now they have arrived at an island, and they have met an ancient Illumineer named Arcasia. And Arcasia, and so the set is called Arcasia's Island. Arcasia is teaching them new secrets about how to use their magical ink. And so one of the things that is introduced in this new set, which I know as cards that we're going to take a look at, are dual ink cards. And so that is like one of the biggest things that's happening with this set is for the first time we have cards that aren't just one ink color, but they are dual ink colors. And in order to play those cards, you have to be playing a deck that have just those two colors in it, right? So the Queen of Hearts, which I love that art, by the way. That Queen of Hearts is so that was probably one of the first cards that I saw that made me stop and go, whoa. That art is amazing.
That's going to make an awesome play mat or something.
Yes,
But yeah, that's definitely one I pulled for the art right there.
Yeah. So these cards could only be played in an emerald and ruby deck. You couldn't play it in an emerald and steel deck or a ruby and amethyst deck. You have to be playing a deck that has those two colors in it, because in Disney Arcana, your decks are limited to 2 ink colors. So it kind of gives, it puts some boundaries, some guardrails, restrictions on these new cards of what decks they can go in, and will require some creative deck building if you are really wanting to use those cards. We also saw 3 new franchises come into the game. Bolt, which is, I know, one of the dual ink cards that you shared. So Bolt is in the game. We have Bolt, Penny. What's the hamster's name?
Rhino. Is it
Rhino? Rhino. Yeah, Rhino. So that's really fun. The Enchanted art looks so good. Yeah. We have the Aristocats are a new film that we have not seen yet in Disney Lorcana.
I like that card.
Also,
I like
that card. The Marie is sitting in the lap of the character Arcasia.
That's cool. Little tease.
Yeah.
It's like a humanoid owl type being.
We don't, so that's like the owl symbol is everywhere and part of it.
But there's hands right there.
But there's hands. It's a human. And then the third franchise that we saw introduced to the game that we hadn't seen yet is Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah. I'm trying to find it right now.
I don't know.
I have it. If you have mine pulled up, I have a couple of Lady and the Tramp. Oh, the spaghetti dinner card.
Dinner item card.
Yeah. So,
because Lady was one of the first cards we were teased with for this site.
Yeah.
We didn't get Bellinate as a song, but best believe I'm going to sing it when I play spaghetti dinner.
I totally thought I made myself somebody had made a bingo card for as the cards got revealed, and I was like, there's going to be a Bellinate song card, obviously. There was not. Yeah, there's some really, really fun stuff. And I was so excited about the dual inks, the Bolt art and then the Lady art from Lady and the Tramp were the two first pieces of art that we saw from this set. And I had my suspicions, like I had my tinfoil hat theory on that dual inks were going to be coming based on the art. And people are like, no, that's not coming. It's too soon or whatever. But with the art in Lorcana, they have all the shape language for each of the inks. And I was like, they are putting the shape language for both ink types into this art. So like Bolt has amber shape language and steel, and Lady and the Tramp had amber and emerald shape language.
Can you unpack that, Rebekah? What do you mean by shape language?
Oh, the shape language. That's a whole thing with Lady's on the second column. She's in there. Miss Park Avenue. The shape language is, so like, for example, in this art, that harness there, those like weaving lines is shape language that helps with conveying the identity of the amber ink. So each of the inks have specific shape language. So amber is protective, and then emerald is flexible. And so you have lots of S-curve lines in the art. And so you can see in her headband that that has that S-curves with the green, feathers in her headband. Sapphire is sacred geometry. Steel is a lot of like squares and rectangles. Ruby is lightning bolts. Amethyst is like magical, persona, and so there's a lot of like crescent moons and different like magical.
Pull up that giant cobra real quick.
Which one?
The giant cobra.
Oh yeah, giant cobra.
Or amethyst steel. Sorry, I'm like pointing at my computer. What you're saying,
Fourth one down.
I think you can see it in the bar where it shows the ink color on the card. You see those designs you're talking about within, like in the amber. You see the weaving, the emerald. It was just kind of like arching over.
So the fourth one down in the second column is the giant cobra. Yeah. So Shane Hartley, who's the creative director for Ravensburger and oversees all of the art direction for Disney Lorcana, I've spoken with him and he's talked on panels and articles about that shape language and shape identity. And so it's not just in the colors of the art, although that is part of it, but it's more about this shape language that they weave into the art to help convey, the identity of the ink. And so if you take a look at all of these dual ink cards, you'll see shape language from both inks evident there in the artwork. So so it's like those magical swirly purple lines, but then like the very like rectangular strong squares of the cobra. So it's really the art and the way that they've showcased it in these dual ink cards, to me, is just so cool with how they're bringing in the detail that they have in the artwork, like that. Like Lorcana Stan, you were saying that was one of the first things that drew you to the game was the artwork.
And they highlight the artist too, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love that I can learn something new even now, as immersed as I am. I didn't know that. As much as I love Shane, and I've met Shane, and I've read Shane, and I've watched Shane, I miss that. Like I missed that part. That was in one ear out the other if I heard it at all. But one of the things I think they did right, one of the main things I think they did right in this game is they could have so easily just taken screenshots from the movies.
Oh, yeah.
And
totally.
And saved money and effort on the art. But they intentionally went out of their way to get artists from all over the world, from every level of their career, from legends down to people they found at Comic-Con Artist Alley last year, and everyone in between. But then to go to this level that I was, as immersed as I am, I was unaware of the shape language and the dual and the look, what to look for now. It's just so much more rich than it could have been. And I appreciate
so much depth. Yeah. This is a scary card. Put it back up.
Yeah. And real quick, people, a little reminder for these Glimmers of the Galaxy episodes. I would highly recommend watching YouTube, because we are showing the cards, we are showing the merch. So
yeah. So this is not a dual ink card. It's a sapphire card, and it's Belle from Beauty and the Beast, who is not a new character. But this card is going to be so
terrifying.
Interesting in how it will shape the meta. Right. Terrifying. It's a 3-cost inkable card, which anytime a card is inkable, that automatically makes it a little better. But this ability that it has, during your turn, you may banish a chosen item of yours to play this character for free. And it's a 3 strength, 3 willpower, quest for 1. What this means is that Sapphire players on turn 1 can play a 1-cost item, like a popsicle, or if you're playing like Sapphire Steel, you could play a Fortisphere, which is cost 1. And then you could immediately banish that item to play this Belle out, and you'll have a 3/3 character on the board on turn 1, which is just bonkers. It's bonkers. And so when you first glance at it, it's kind of unassuming until you look at that ability. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how this card, and you can see even, well, I guess,
let me see if I can.
Can't go by the prices, but it's going to be it really an impactful card in the meta for sure.
Can I tell a story about that card?
Yeah, go for it.
A preseason, pregame story of terror.
Yeah, because people are starting to, people will make up test cards and proxies and have started using some of the cards now that we know what they all are. So people have been, but yeah, I would love to hear your terrifying story.
So last night I was at League, and I knew I could bring, since we're in these weird in-between League season weeks, I knew last night I could bring proxies for Chapter 7, but I didn't have time to make any or look any up or figure it out on my own. So I just showed up with my normal current Chapter 6 deck, which I'm fairly competitive with. I know how to drive that. I'm okay.
What is it? What ink colors?
90% of the games I've played since day one are Amber Steel.
Amber Steel. Okay. Yes.
And so I'm hoping that my buddy Sean or Brian, or what's his name, DeCandio, teach me how to play some Amber Steel something for Chapter 7. Because if they don't, I am totally tempted to convert over to
Sapphire.
Blue steel
Mhm.
because of this card and this card alone and how it kicked my butt last night. Because the guy that brought this in his proxy, I had nothing to deal. I was floored every time when I'm putting down a Cinderella, for example, who's a one, who's a what is she, a 1/2?
Yep.
Who can sing songs that cost 3. Cool. But all the songs that cost 3 at that point can only do 1 or 2 damage. And what in the world are they going to do to a 3/3 bell that they just put down? And they got more cards in their hand than me. They put down a 3/3, and then one guy had his opening hand was 2 bells, a popsicle, and 3. No, it was a fortisphere and 3 strength of a storm rage on, which is the song that does 2 damage.
Yeah.
So he puts down the fortisphere, draws a card, pops it, puts down the bell.
Plays the bell.
The Cinderella can't do anything. Next turn, Cinderella sings one of those 3 songs. Cinderella's gone. The next person I put down, gone. The next person I put down, gone. He wins. Like, game over. I don't know what to do. That card is evil. That card is OP or whatever the nerds say. I don't know what the power creep. I don't know. I don't have the vocabulary to talk about how intimidating that common card is.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, some of our regular listeners that aren't playing, they'll be like, huh?
I know. Yeah, it's a terrifying card for competitive play, and so it'll be interesting to see how it shapes the meta. There's, I think, that one, and then actually that giant cobra card that we looked at is another card that will be big. Oh yeah, Raja
Mushu. The Mushu, the red steel Mushu.
Raja is
this
interesting. And all of the illusion cards are so cool looking. We finally got Mushu.
Look what that card does. Yeah. This is the card that Mushu Report should have been able to reveal back in the Year of the Dragon last Lunar New Year, a year ago. But better late than never. Look at those stats. He gives people resist 2 when they challenge. And then during your turn, whenever one of your characters banishes another character in a challenge, you gain 2 lore. So just his mere presence makes every other character you have on board stronger by 2, defense-wise. And they can all take out whoever I have on the board and get 2 lore. In one turn, they could get like 10 lore.
This is crazy.
Yep. I don't know what to do with that.
There's some brutal cards, like awesomely brutal cards in this set.
Yeah.
I know Alex kind of put out like maybe some of the cards that we're looking forward to the most. So I'll start with you, Alex.
I sent you a picture of Mushu from my last trip.
What was that? Oh, okay.
I sent you a picture of Mushu because that move he was doing, it was the same one he was doing at Lunar New Year Festival. Favorite song. I think Addie dropped it after we got home, but it might be like a refrain from You'll Bring Honor to Us All. I was singing that the whole time I was at Disneyland that year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Very good to see Mushu in the game. I think a lot of people were hoping we were going to get an Enchanted, which we did not get. But many more cards in the future. Still haven't got the Hey Enchanted yet. That's coming.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I have to say though, the enchanted cards this set might be my favorite enchanteds that we've had the whole game so far. Yeah, as like a whole set of enchanted, just like it's very and they actually, there was an article that came out with the art director for this set, and she talked about that they were really taking cues from the I'm going to say his name wrong from Sleeping Beauty.
Ivan Earl.
Ivan Earl, yes. And that they took cues from his art style, bringing in elements of like nature. And one of my favorites is the Sleeping Beauty Aurora Enchanted, Amber Enchanted. That one's gorgeous. And then, did I put the Jafar one in the list that I sent you? I did. Okay. You'll have to pull that one up as well. But the art for these enchanted is just kind of insane. But like, it's so beautiful. And like in the sheets, like of the bed, like how it has like the castle and the landscape there. It's just so gorgeous. I love it so much.
It kind of reminds me of a little bit of some of the cards that they did for the 100 set.
Hey,
the D100. Yeah.
If you go up to
wow, look at that.
This one.
Oh, there.
This one is insane to me. And the thing that I love about this art so much is that in Arcasia's Island, like with the story, so this card is like storytelling through art. You have all of the Illumineers going to Arcasia's Island, and there's that owl symbol that you see everywhere. And in other art, you see that tower in the back that's an owl that is like symbolizes Arcasia and the green trees and everything. But at the same time, there's this story going on of Jafar getting this Hexwell crown that gives power, and he's starting to take over things. And you see like that tower from Arcasia's Island turning into the serpent, and you have like this like sandy, kind of sunsetty colors, and the branches there of like a dead tree behind the green, like creeping in with the way the art is. It's just so cool, the art on this one. I love it.
Yeah, that's insane.
Very Nightmare Before or Haunted Mansion Holiday, where tree burns and it goes away, or even Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness with Wanda, and how she has the hex, and when it goes away, the field is all barren, red. Super cool art on that card.
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't like Marvel very much, but that was a beautiful analogy to the Wanda and the multi. Yeah, and the multiverse thing out of Marvel reminds me of like the other part I love about this game and the art is all of the alternate storylines, the alternate realities that could have been or should have been or might have been through the Dreamborn or the Floodborn or whatever, and like all the what ifs of what if Gaston wasn't stupid, what if this or that happened differently, and how we can see that in the beautiful art. That's fun too.
This card is insane. Sorry for our audio listeners, but watch a YouTube.
Dekab.
Yeah.
We're looking at a amethyst ruby dual ink card. It is costs 10 ink to play, and it has 12 strength and 12 willpower, questing for 3 lore. It is a super rare card that is a shift 7, so you could play it on top of another Tekka for 7. And it says Ancient Rage. During your turn, whenever an opposing character is exerted, banish them. So yeah, if anybody quested before they got to you, if anybody challenged before they got to you, and take odds there, it's almost like a be prepared for the turns that are prior to yours. If you put that on the board.
Well, I think in the case of this card, they have to be exerted during your turn.
Okay.
So if they're already exerted, it wouldn't count. But like there are cards like Elsa, Fifth Spirit, where when you play this character, exert chosen character, or like the little Pinocchio that does that, or there's lots of cards that will have you exert opposing characters, and that just exert them and then they're gone. They're banished. That's it.
So
it's crazy.
But if you do that multiple times on a turn with some sort of item or whatever, that's an interesting combination.
Yeah, there's so many amazing cards, and for multiple reasons, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most.
The Donald.
Is Wizard Donald. When Alex told me about this, because I didn't see it revealed, and he told me about it, I'm like, oh, that's a beautiful card. He told me what it did. So,
oh my gosh, look at the text. This is the first time I'm reading it.
yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
Let's
Yeah.
go on, Alex.
This card.
What do we got, Alex?
It's this is a legendary Donald Duck Flustered Sorcerer. It is an uninkable 7 ink cost that has a 5 strength and 6 willpower and quest for 3 lore, but obfuscate. I don't even know if I'm saying that. Is that a word? Or is that a dog?
Yes, it's a word. It's
a word.
Wow. The Lorcana's teaching me all kinds of things. Opponents need 25 lore to win the game, so it's actually pushing the goalpost back for your opponents. This was I thought it was hilarious because they actually updated the lore counter in the app so that you could toggle a switch if you have played this Donald Duck Flustered Sorcerer. I also think the rules pertaining to if this character is banished while someone would happen to be over 20 lore but below 25, I think that's very interesting as well.
Yeah, so if you had this card out, if Donald was out, your opponent needs 25 to win. So let's say now they're at 22 or 23, and then they manage to banish Donald, then it's an auto win for them because now this 25 lore to win condition is gone, and they've met the normal game win conditions of getting to 20 lore. So, yeah.
Definitely very interesting card, game-changing card.
The enchanted version of that too. I don't know.
Scroll down below the enchanted.
Is really cool looking.
Guys, this is a very fun way to be introduced to some of these cards. I feel like I'm like sitting at a restaurant and you're serving them to me on a platter.
Damn, I did not know there was an enchanted. Holy crap.
Oh yeah, you didn't know? Yeah.
Joey's like, that one's mine.
Wow.
No,
he
the
looks so good.
There's a Mad Hatter and then the Hero Hamada. There's actually 3 versions of the same Hero Hamada, as they announced that it'll also be the set championships enchanted, rare, and alternate art card that they're going to have for that.
Do you have that hero in your list? I don't know if you do, but we should pull him up.
I did. I was looking for it.
And then,
for whatever reason, when I was scrolling through, it didn't have all the enchanteds pulled up. So, and then the Mad Hatter should be an alternate art for that card that I had with the crazy teapot situation.
The dual ink one?
Yeah. I was going to say, if you went under cards, put Arcasia's Island, and then just tried to filter to enchanteds. But... the Hero Hamada, a lot of people, there we go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Similarly to what you said about the Sleeping Beauty card, the background, it just looks like the background art from those Disney movies of the 50s, Sleeping Beauty, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Cinderella, classic layout of which Ivan Earl was known for. And then the Hero Hamada one, a lot of people are comparing his look to, I'm blanking on the name of the lead animated singer of the Gorillaz band.
I just added Hero to my list if you refresh that link on mine. And the Hero one, so we can I'll throw in these updates too, which I'm sure you guys saw. But so the Hero Hamada has an enchanted version, but then it also has this is the regular version. And then there's an enchanted version, which is very cool. Also, this enchanted hero and the enchanted, what was the other one we were just looking at?
The Mad Hatter?
No, the one before that. I can't remember. The Donald one are both by Rachel Elise, and that artist is one of my favorite artists in the game. Yeah. She has done some amazing cards. I don't know if they have it here, but if you scroll down, does it have the other versions? No, it doesn't. No. So Hero is going to be, there's a different alternate art version of this card that's going to be the prize card for the new set championships for Arcasia's Island. So they made changes where the new set championships are going to have a foil card for the top 8 players, but then there's also going to be an alternate art card that all participants are going to get. So in the past, it was only
that's a great change.
It's a fabulous change.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic. And I just sent you a link for that. I don't know if you can open it, Joey. The alternate art, I think, is really fun. And the fact that they've offered something now so that anyone who plays in a set championship walks away with something, I think is such a good
not just something, but something special, something unique.
Oh yeah.
Like, 'cause you used to just get a pack, an entry pack.
Right.
I don't want an entry pack. I don't want something I could buy. Right? Like, give me something unique to this event. Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's the only way you can get this card is by playing in a set championship. And so that non-foil version is the one that all players who participate will get. And then the foil is for your top 8. And then the champion will get the play mat. So some changes to the set championships this time around.
Early for your set championships.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are going to go fast because she did say everyone gets, I believe they counted it at 40. 40. I don't know if many places are running a set championships larger than that. And we're talking for your local game store, wherever you play on the weekly or get your stuff locally or whatever. I know it had kind of been a thing over the last year with set championships, kind of headhunters, people who would travel to different local game stores to get those, win the play mats and the enchanteds and stuff. Which I guess if you can do it, do it. But like you both mentioned, this is really cool that now everyone, especially, as someone who is super excited to get into more competitive play and play in my store's local set championships, it would be a bummer if I went somewhere that normally has 8 to 12 people showing up and then come to the championship when it's sold out to 40 and I don't get anywhere close to the top 8 because all these people from out of town are rolled up or whatever. So I'm very happy with my non-foil version of Hero. But I'm coming to win. I'm coming to get that foil one too.
You can do it.
And I mean, I know we could talk about this set for a long time. This is a very exciting. It's amazing because back during the first Twitch stream when they announced Ursula's return, that was like the first time we really see the game kind of change and update. But then every set after it's been like, oh my, it's like a totally different world. So very excited for this. I know our heart lab, we're going to be excited on Friday. So like Alex said, like our league is more casual, which is nice, but kind of dipping our waters into more competitive. But I don't know if I have the article, but we also got a little bit of news that they're going to be kind of updating the way they do the promos for a lot of leagues and stuff. So do you know of that?
Yeah. So I can actually send that to you too. So they've changed the way that so it used to be called League, and they're getting rid of that term League, and now it's called Weekly Play. And it used to be that players would go, you'd play at your store every week, and you would get points for different things, for like winning a game or for different quests you could do, and you would accumulate points, and then the highest point winners would get prizes like these promo cards or pins. So in the new instructions to stores, they've updated it now and said there's no more points that you can accumulate over or boxes. Yes. So no more points. And it's just each week you come and play, and they encourage stores to give booster packs based on performance, like your top winners from the week. But then if you scroll down, you'll see the prizes that come with the organized play kit that they give to stores. There's 3 different, or maybe 4 different cards that you can get. It's like all the way down on the last page.
Oh,
yeah. So there you go. So you have a few different promo cards that you can get. One of them goes to like all the players just for being part of your league. But then some of the other cards and what they're saying is the pins and promos now should be randomly given out to players at your league. So doing a raffle or drawing or something like that. So that way it makes it so the same people aren't getting the prizes each week, because I
That's
think that's what a
interesting.
lot of leagues were experiencing, was that when these kit prizes were being awarded to the top point earners, it was always the same people that are very competitive and winning all the time and getting the most points were getting all the pins and promos. And so they've changed the way that weekly play is designed so that it's a little bit more inviting for the casual players, that they have just as much a chance of getting these pins and promos as anybody else if it's done randomly, while the store can still offer booster packs or whatever other pricing they want based on your top performers. So I think it's some good changes for the league. It'll be interesting to see how many stores implement it that way. Everything in this is also recommended, so Ravensburger can't force stores to do it this way. This is just their recommended way to do it. So if a store does it differently, that doesn't mean they're in trouble. But this is the recommended way that they're wanting to move forward. So
I had wondered about that because for Valentine's Day, Ravensburger announced that they did a I don't remember
Pack Rush.
Yeah, it was Pack
Rush.
Rush. They probably had a cool on-theme name, which I'm not prepared with. But we went out for that, or I went out for that. I don't think Addie came with me, but went to our local at Game Castle. And Game Castle did it, and it was great. I think they took 24 pairs, which they definitely did not have. But yeah, each person got 2 free packs and got to play Pack Rush with Ursula's and Inkland's pack. And that was a lot of fun. So I guess what you said just kind of answered for me. If I presume they were given the stock to do these things, and I assume if Ravensburger's handing these things out, that they are told to do it a certain way. I know online, and it's the internet, so who knows the validity. Some people were claiming that their locals were charging for this event. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But with the last page you had up, I think they said there's the Kronk promo is going to be if you buy a box to encourage people.
Oh, that's what it is. Yes. So there's a buy a box. It's a buy a box promotion. Yeah. And so, yes, the Kronk card in particular is not for weekly play, but that one is specifically trying to help stores encourage people to, support your local game store. Don't buy from Amazon or Target or whatnot, but go support your local game store. And if you buy a box from your store, then you will be given the Kronk laid back promo card along with the box that you buy. So, yeah.
That's cool. And I wonder if this Bell lore counter goes up to 25.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good question.
Just wondering.
I did not even think about that. You know what? I'm gonna ask somebody that question. Maybe they'll answer me before we're done chatting.
Yeah.
Guys, can I interject a tangent right here as I see that sweet dog keeps staring at me? With all due respect to Bolt, with all due respect to the Aristocats, with all due respect to very obscure Disney references, like, heck, even Lady and the Tramp. The most obscure one I can think of is probably The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, yeah.
With all due respect to all those classics, they all should be included. But especially characters that are better and better written and more popular. I have been on a mission since day one to get Figment and Dreamfinder into this game. I'm going to make it happen because we're going to make it happen.
Appreciate it, converted, brother. We've been saying since day one we would love to see Disney parks be included, especially from the introduction of locations.
Brother, I want an imagination pavilion. I want a spaceship Earth. I want Dreamfinder's ship so we can fly around whatever
around the Rainbow Corridor.
Yeah, come on now.
No, I'm with you. We're with you. Trust me.
We're gonna make it happen. That's why I play at the Golden Horseshoe, because I want a Golden Horseshoe card. I tried to talk them into having the top 8 or the top 4, the final match of the Continentals on that stage, that classic stage
Yeah.
in
They're
the
not
Golden
doing the
Horseshoe.
piano no more. Might as well throw something up there.
Might as well. They're just eating in
Speaking of-
there.
You say obscure. Joe, will you pull up my list one more time? Because there is a card that's super obscure, and I haven't even pulled up where it's from, but I remember seeing, or one of the card drop videos I watched mentioned how deep of a cut this was. This is like
I might know what you're talking about.
You probably do. That's why I'm trying to have Joe pull it up, because you're going to solve it. Otherwise, I'll have to look it up real quick.
All right, give me a sec, because I.
But it made me think of another one which I had not mentioned before that is not yet in the game, and I can't wait. And it'll satisfy both of us on this for Parks. You know who I'm talking about?
I'm just pulling it up.
Mr. Thaddeus J. Toad, baby.
Oh, is he in it? Finally?
No, we need
a Disney property. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. A Disney classic. And I would love to see both Ichabod and Mr. Toad, Winky's Pub.
Oh my goodness.
Headless
Toad would be
all the
great.
different characters would be great for Disney.
Mr. Toad.
I got one in there.
It's a Ruby card. I mean, right? It's the second one down.
Second one down on the left.
The Phantom. Okay, so I full disclosure, I did not know what this was from when I saw it. So I have looked it up, and that's the only reason I know. Do you know what it's from, Lorcana Stan?
I also initially my recency bias also went to Epic Mickey first, but I know they don't have a relationship yet.
Yep.
So it's an old Mickey short.
Comic.
I forgot the title of it. Oh, a comic.
It's not a short. It was from a comic.
It's just the comic. What do you know the name?
Yeah.
What's the name?
I don't remember the name of it, but
these guys are also in.
Right?
I think they're also in Epic Mickey, but the source is this comic. I thought it was a short, but
Or maybe there is a short. I think he was in a comic first, but then they did make a short, and it's called Mickey Foils the Phantom Blot. Is what it looks like.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you say what year it's from?
Let's see here.
Wasn't that the theme of Mickey's Magical Map with a blot?
There was a blot.
That blot wasn't that ink blot wasn't personified.
Yeah,
like this guy.
No, this is cool. The background art, the trees kind of look like the owl of Arcasia's Island as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
For those listening, it's a dark hooded figure that kind of looks to be having the arms and feet of Goofy, but he's it's like a shadowed sheet ghost or something. Uninkable, 2 costs. It's got 3 strength and 1 willpower, and it has rush. Questing for 1 lore. This is a Ruby card. Flavor text: nobody knows who or what he really is or what he's planning. Phantom Blot deck, stand up. I mean,
okay, so
cool theme.
the Phantom Blot was he first appeared in a comic strip. Mickey Mouse Outwits the Phantom Blot. It first came out in 1939.
Woo!
Deep.
This is way back. Yeah, 1939, and it was in the comics for a while, and then it didn't make it into the short until much more recently, it looks like.
Yeah, the art leads me to believe it made it into
The
one of the
Blot.
new Mickey Mouse. I'm gonna have to go watch Runaway Railway and see if the Phantom Blot is capering around.
Hey, I love these very deep cuts.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But I guarantee there are more people on this planet that know Dreamfinder's name and origin rather than this Phantom Blots. With all due respect,
especially from the comics. Those are great comics.
Yeah.
Well,
by the way, that's how I shoehorned
anyway.
Dreamfinder into. I did force him into being time period appropriate for the Adventureland Day stuff because of the comics.
It fits in perfectly.
Yeah, and I took my dad's 100-year-old Brownie camera, so it would look appropriate, and pretend like I took all the pictures of the cards, the Lorcana cards.
Dreamfinder's totally SEA.
And the cards I handed out there were the Mickey Mouse Stalwart Explorer, because he looks like Indiana Jones. Tell me he doesn't. You know,
absolutely.
I'm sorry, this is cracking me up. The Phantom Blot, one of the first appearances of the Phantom Blot in animation outside of the cartoons, was not until he made it into an episode of DuckTales.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
That would be interesting if they classified him as a DuckTales property.
Right. So he was in one episode of the DuckTales. He was in Mickey Mouse Works in the late 90s, House of Mouse in the early 2000s. So anyway, super deep cut. There you go. The Phantom Blot.
I wonder if this is, and I'm going to transition to our final topic, because having you guys on here is like a education for me, because we've been since following Lorcana since the beginning, but just there's so much to it, it's hard. So I'm glad to have you both on here, and Alex has been helping me a lot even when we're playing, because I forget to read the cards sometimes. So people, if you're playing, read the cards and what they do.
Read the cards.
But I wonder if this blot is kind of like a tease to the next set that we got announced to, and that is the Reign of Jafar.
The Reign of Jafar. So a little story about how, or I shouldn't say how, why this got announced. So Arcasia's Island is set 7. Reign of Jafar is set 8. Normally, we don't see this much about a future set before the next set has even been released. But Disney Lorcana, or rather Ravensburger, was at a couple of different expos recently, trade shows for game design and toy fair. And so they had a lot of the Reign of Jafar products that were on display and being showcased at these different trade shows. And so because of that and the timing, I think instead of there being leaks out there and spoilers of folks who were at these events taking photos and sharing them on the World Wide Web. Oh my goodness, so funny. That they preemptively put out a bunch of information about the Reign of Jafar with these product images. So we've seen now some of the art, the trove, the booster box art. I love the new Rapunzel that's on there, Minnie Mouse and Jafar, of course. And so all of these products that we've seen were announced because of the timing with these expos. But so normally you wouldn't see this much ahead of time. But the other cool thing that we see, and what I'm actually really excited about, is there's going to be a new Illumineers quest that's coming out with this set. So as part of the Ursula's Return set, there was Illumineers quest Deep Trouble, and it was all centered around Ursula. But now, of course, in this new story arc, Jafar is kind of the big bad guy. And so we see a new Illumineers quest, which is the co-op version of Disney Lorcana. And it's called Illumineers Quest Palace Heist, where you'll be able to play together, working together as a team with other Illumineers, each having your own deck, but playing against the Jafar deck that comes in the box set. So I'm really excited that that's going to be coming. I had a suspicion that we would see that.
You called it months ago.
Yeah. Yep, with each story arc that we would get a new version of Illumineers Quest. And
link. I'm just telling everybody listening, watching, whatever, if you're not following Rebekah.Quests, I mean, I knew already. I knew because she knew.
Yep.
She got the hunches. She knows what's up. Tinfoil hat.
I got the hunches. They're not always right, but often. They give us a lot of clues. Yeah. So, Reign of Jafar is coming out. I believe that the hobby store releases May 30th. Yep, May 30th. And then June 6th, it'll be everywhere else. So
I love the look of his crown.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
crown.
And I cannot wait to see the Lorcana cosplayers hit that particular character.
Yes.
And just in general.
Man.
So.
I really hope, this is one of my dreams for the future of Disney Lorcana events, that they start hosting cosplay contests.
That would be great.
At the Disney Lorcana challenges. Like, I mean, they do it at D23 and there's all other like games, like Magic or whatever. They do cosplay things and other like Comic Cons and stuff.
Sign
it's
me
like,
up.
oh man. Yeah. If they did that for Lorcana, that would be so cool. I would love to see
especially
that.
like between certain shows. And I mean, that'd be, they got to do that. So
Keep your Comic Con. Give me Lorcana Con.
Yes, Lorcana Con. Exactly. We need it. Oh man.
patent it right now. Well, that's awesome.
Lots of fun
guys.
stuff.
Oh,
Lots of fun stuff coming.
So, I mean, I know we could just talk for hours about this and the stuff coming out, what we're excited for, but we got to get going. Don't want to take, you guys got family. We don't want to take too much, but really thank you guys for joining us, keeping this reoccurring topic going. Cause it comes up as an idea. We don't know how the game's going to go, but it just seems like, and you two see it, especially, but just how the growth and just how the community is going. So,
yeah.
But before we let you go, would you like to remind people where they could find you? And I will start with our guest. You're both our guests, but our new guest, our new friend, Lorcana Stan. Where can people find you and see you when you're going to be playing at Golden Horseshoe, which I hope to play with you there with some chicken strips one of these days.
You could enjoy the chicken strips, brother, but I will enjoy your company. And I love playing with anyone in the parks. They have a whole merchandise line called Play in the Parks. And every time I see it, I think play Lorcana in the park.
Absolutely.
But I wish I was on more than one social media site, but there's only so many hours in the day. So I'm only on one. That's Instagram at Lorcana Stan. I appreciate the love. And I appreciate all of you for allowing me to be here today. And I had a great time. Thank you.
Absolutely. You always got an open door too. Like this is reoccurring, so you always got an open door. And of course, the great Rebekah Quests, the best Lorcana content you can find on the interwebs.
All hail Queen Rebekah.
I love having fun and making people smile and laugh and helping people learn. So I do that on Instagram mostly. So if you want to follow along, it's at Rebekah Quests on Instagram. And I'm also on Blue Sky. And if people are on Discord, I hang out in some different Discord communities for Disney Lorcana. So that's where I hang out. Come join me.
Awesome. And you mentioned earlier about the Quest in the Park and more events happening.
Yeah.
So anything being worked on yet? Or
I love lore.
Not yet. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love to lore is awesome. Yeah. Well, Quest in the Park, I think right now the plan is that we're going to try to coordinate, when they do these events at the parks, which will probably be once or twice a year. I know that some of the folks that I'm working with are hoping, because Worlds, whenever they do announce when it's going to be, is going to be hosted at Walt Disney World. And so the next Quest in the Park event that we do, our plan is to host a day at one of the parks at Walt Disney World. So we'll do that. And then probably not until the next North American Championship when we'll do it at Disneyland again. But hey, you never know. Maybe we do it more often. But I'm excited for the future.
Like a release weekend, maybe?
Yeah, well, maybe. But having a bunch of Illumineers together in the park was such a fun day. I know that we're going to do it again, and I can't wait because it was so much fun.
Oh, very cool. And I just want to tease the people that we are working on doing something here in Sacramento. So Lorcana themed and art themes. I'll just leave it at that. But speaking of art theme, before we go, I did mention we have another giveaway after this show. So we'll do a post and we'll figure out how we're going to give it away. But I've been interacting with great Disney artists over the last couple of months. James Mulligan, and he has gifted me a few autographed Chef from Beauty and the Beast.
Chef Boosh.
So cool.
Call him Chef Boosh.
He is such a cool guy. Every time I've interacted, hey, you know what? Let me show you some I bought from him from Comic-Con real fast.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I've been
this is the most I've ever spent on any fan related nerdy sort of art. and I don't regret it at all. And it made me emotional when I saw it.
Oh, nice. Yes, I have seen that one. That is amazing.
Oh, it looks like Santa Claus.
Let me get the full screen here.
There you go.
And for the audio listeners, it's a beautiful Dreamfinder and Figment, of course. So,
Put them on a card.
Put them on a card. Yes.
And have him draw it too. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, but we will tell you guys how to win this card, and it will bring it out in a post very shortly. So, thank you guys for joining us. And one more time, we would love to shout out our very important crew.
Yes, the lore of our heart. DU crew. Biggest shout out to John Z. I don't think I mentioned him the last time. I'm freestyling here. Jen, Sean, Alfredo, Wedge Antilles. We got Jacob, Salah,
Tyler.
Sasquatch, Tyler. Yeah, King of the Bags. Tyler was just recently in town and just recently at Disney. So
yes,
shout out to you and your fam, and shout out to all of the DU crew fam. If you want to get like them and be down with us, go check us out, patreon.com/DU crew for all the details on 2 very affordable tiers to join in and just get a little deeper into the universe with the Disney Universe podcast. That's
yeah, absolutely. And if you're watching the audio or video and you want to go to the audio, be sure to check out the Walt's Apartment Productions feed on all your favorite podcast platforms. But once again, Rebekah, Stan, thank you for joining. Can't wait to do this again. And good luck questing this Friday. And for everybody listening, if you're not questing, get out there, get out to your local game shops, have fun. They're great. It's a great community, a family fun community too. So until next time, I guess we'll say
keep on questing. Get your lore on.
Questing.
Don't fall in the inkwell.
Good night,
everybody. If you want something to really end it on, I'll read you something.
Oh, perfect.
Here you go. Here you go. I love these flights of fancy, searching the universe for sounds, sights, ideas, anything that sparks the imagination. Everything I collect can inspire amazing new and marvelous new ideas, and you never know what kind of figment you might come up with. So keep on questing and keep on collecting.
Perfect. Good night, everybody.